What's up, AutoWise? This is Bryon Dorr, Editor-in-Chief. I am in the Corvette C8 Convertible. This one has the Z51 package and the 2LT interior. Just out for a drive. I've had it for about a week, and I can say I'm impressed. This one was much anticipated. I've been waiting to drive this for a long, long time. This one is very much a Jekyll and Hyde situation. You can chill and just tour in this car, no problem. It could be a daily. I absolutely believe that. But you tune it into track mode, it is a weapon. This thing is super precision, scalpel style. I'm impressed in all ways. From canyon carving to grocery getting, the C8 will do it all. This thing has 495 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque, only weighs 3,366 pounds, and it'll do a sub 3 second 0 to 60 and just over 11 seconds in the quarter mile. That is quick. But in the same exact breath, this thing gets 19 miles per gallon average. Now, that's not when I'm driving it hard. You're gonna get a lot less. But just cruising around town, I'll bet you could do more than that, no problem. This thing has no manual, so let's get the elephant right out of the room. You cannot roll your own gears, there's not a third pedal. But it does have a really, really good 8-speed double clutch transmission. That is actuated through paddle shifters on the steering wheel. The paddle shifters are metal, feel really good. Just a good piece of equipment. A lot of times on these cars, the paddle shifters are cheap and plastic and they skimp on that. But again, it's a big touch point and I like the way these feel. The steering wheel itself, it's a big rectangle. It's covered in Alcantara. It feels special and unique. Sure, it's probably not the most ergonomic for real performance driving, but man, it feels good. Like, it's just a nice steering wheel. It also has a Z button on this one. So with the Z51 package, you get a Z button on the steering wheel. What's nice about that is that goes full track mode right away. So you hit that button and you get aggressive everything from whatever mode you were in. That's a pretty nice feature to have on a sports car. You can always go after it whenever you want. With this car, you also get a number of modes. You get weather mode, tour mode, sport mode, track mode, and my mode. My mode's what I've been using a lot. So it allows you to adjust all the settings to your preferences. For me, on the Portland and Oregon roads that are pretty beat up, I like to put it in touring suspension mode because track mode is really, really harsh, but I'll bet amazing on a smooth paved surface. I like it to put it in track exhaust mode. The exhaust on this car, even the Z51 performance exhaust, is pretty quiet. It's not that loud. So in track mode, it's the loudest it goes and just gives you that nice grumble. I like the steering and the brakes in sport mode. That combo is my mode and it works great. I really enjoy it. There are a few things I really don't like about this car. One, the rear deck lid here. At certain angles, the sun shines in and super reflective. It's just really, really distracting when clouds go over and stuff and this rear deck lid shines a bunch of light in the car. The other thing I don't like are these huge blind spots, like massive. The B-pillars and this mid-engine layout provides you can't see anything. So unless you pull up to a 90-degree turn, say it's a shallower angle and you're trying to see if any cars are coming, it's nearly impossible. It's kind of weird that there's no cameras there. There's amazing high-def cameras on this car. 3 up front, 1 in the back. They're high-def, they're color, they look great. Why not some blind spot cameras? Please, I'm sure they're coming. With that said, I do love the dashboard. The dashboard has tons of cool accents and features. It's got some floating elements. I really think it's impressive. What I don't like in here is the gauge cluster for the driver. It presents all the information really well, really clean and crisp. It's high res, it's vivid, but there's too much information on every screen. There's not a setting where you can clean that up and make it really simple. But with the 2LT package, you get a heads-up display, and that heads-up display allows you to keep your eyes on the road and provides just the right amount of information, and it is a really good heads-up as well. One thing that, of course, it is a Corvette, and that means you are going to find some cheap materials in here. But that's one way they keep the price down on these things. One that I just can't get past are the relatively cool-looking little tiny toggles on the HVAC system. to control the vents. They look like Starbucks stirrers. The little plastic stirrer that comes in your coffee. Yeah, that's what it feels like and that's what it looks like. If they were in aluminum or something cool, they'd work really well. But as it is, they just feel cheap. Again, it's a Corvette. You're not paying for that. So just gotta take it the good with the bad in that way. We gotta talk about these seats, right? Corvette seats, they look amazing. They have adjustable lumbar, they have adjustable bolsters, they have nice orange seat belts that match the car. They're carbon fiber, they're lightweight, they're stiff. They're pretty good for all purposes. The one thing I don't like about them is up here at the top, for some reason, they make my shoulders roll forward, especially after a long day of hard driving. That gets annoying. I've had a couple other people ride with me in this car and they've all had the same exact scenario. So I'm not sure what it is. I think the bolsters might be a little high and kind of forcing the shoulders forward, but they look great, but they could be improved. If you ever get tired of listening to the exhaust on this thing and you're on a long road trip and you just want some tunes, the 2LT package comes with a 14-speaker Bose stereo system. I'm not a fan of Bose stereos normally. The sound just doesn't appeal to my ears. I usually like a little more actual bass than Bose systems usually provide. But this one sounds really, really good. Presents a really good sound stage across the front of the car. And overall, it's hard to complain about. At $89,000, this 2LT Z51 C8 convertible is not an inexpensive car. But what other mid-engine, nearly 500 horsepower, sub 3-second 0 to 60 time, super unique, super comfortable, very visually appealing car can you buy for under $100,000? That is an amazing value, even though it's a lot of dough. Would you put one of these in your driveway? Doesn't have a manual, rides pretty low, does have a nose rise feature, which is really nice and required to get in and out of driveways like my steep driveway here in the city. I don't know. I don't think I'd buy the convertible. I think I'd save that weight and that extra cost and just go with the standard Stingray, which has a removable hardtop. I don't think I'd get it in Sebring orange. I think I would get it in maybe white. I'm not a big white car guy, but white looks really good on the crisp lines on this C8. Would you put a C8 convertible in your driveway?